To get and keep the kids in the kitchen, it needs to be fun. And it's not just about throwing spaghetti on the ceiling fun. Maybe that's just my house, well, you know. But the Food Network magazine knows the right way to keep kids interested in food, and they're back with a Recipe-A-Day Kids Cookbook, 365 fun, easy treats to make all year long. Check this out.
It doesn't have to be a holiday to make something. We can come up with any reason to make anything. Like Shirley Temple's birthday is later this month, so why not use that as an excuse to make yourself a Shirley Temple? I mean, I don't know about you, but my kids will only get this when we go out to restaurants, but it's nice to make them at home sometimes. And they don't even have to be, you know, for these, we don't even have to do the grenadine and the soda. If you want to just make it healthy, you can do a seltzer with a little fruit juice in it. My only recommendation is if you want the kids to love it, just put a mess of maraschino cherries in it, because they need like 3 to 5 for it to
3
be
to
legit,
5,
right?
like absolutely. Even when I was a kid, I was like, hey, I'll have a Shirley Temple heavy on the cherries.
Yeah, exactly. Heavy on the cherries, exactly. So really, like I said, you don't need a reason. We can come up with any reason to make anything. If it's movie night, we have some popcorn here that we threw some matcha powder into, which was a fun way to get the kids to try a new flavor. I mean, we were doing popcorn all the time, and I was like, let's mix it up a little. So we put matcha powder on this, but you could take freeze-dried fruit and grind that up, make pink popcorn with freeze-dried strawberries, or you can take the little packet out of your mac and cheese and dump it on the popcorn to make a little cheesy popcorn. So I think the key with kids and getting them in the kitchen is to give them some options, right? They want to have a say and help you decide what to make. So popcorn is kind of a fun place to play for them.
And my kids love popcorn. That's a great idea. What else have you got?
So for spring, and this could be really any day, we were making these little Daisy Cupcakes, which are so simple. And really throughout this book, there are ideas that kids of any age can do. So even if they're tiny little ones, they can help with this, because you just take a marshmallow and a pair of scissors, that's it, and you snip off little strips to make the petals of the cupcake. And because it's a marshmallow, it's like the glue is right on there. The marshmallow is sticky. So they stick right to the cupcake. And then this is the real party trick here. You snip the whole end off the cupcake, so you've got a nice round circle, and you stick that in nonpareils, which are just little baby sprinkles, and you've got this cute little yellow center for your daisy. So the kids can really feel like they accomplished something, and it takes 2 seconds. I always like kids also, you know, the more involved they are, the more likely they are to keep cooking and keep eating new things. So I encourage them to name their recipes. So my kids call these crazy daisies, but it's fun to kind of come up with your own name for a recipe. It feels like you really made it yourself.
I absolutely. What else? I see you make something with Peeps there as well.
Oh, yes, of course we did. It is Peep season. And I don't know about you, I love a stale Peep. I love it when they get a little chewy. And
I do too.
They're so good. These are frozen. We made Peeps ice cream sandwiches. So when you put them in the freezer, they're amazing. They get chewy like that too. And we just took like a chunk of ice cream and a strip of Peeps and stuck them together. And then you just cut them up and you have your cute little Peeps ice cream sandwiches. Perfect.
That is so clever. I feel like I love the theme of your book and how it seems like you really truly believe that cooking with kids, keeping the family together by cooking is such an important thing.
And we've all been doing a lot of it, right? We're home more than ever. And I mean, it matters. They learn these things early, and you know what? They learn all these great lessons. You're learning how to measure, you're learning about math and science, but I think kind of life lessons too, because they learn that they can make mistakes and fix them. These nonpareils that I use for those daisies, that's my perfect cake fix. If you mess up frosting, you stick nonpareils all over your cake and no one sees the mess. So I think kids are just learning these little things about like, it's okay to mess up, try again. So there's a lot to learn.
I see you've got more still here to show us.
Oh,
what
so many
that
things.
Strawberry thing, or what are those?
These are, well, we love a fake out here. So these fake outs are like, you know, food that looks like something else. This is kind of a funny little fake out. It's a strawberry that we covered in orange candy melts. So to look like a carrot. And we put it on a bed of chocolate sprinkles to look like dirt.
Cute.
It's not healthy. It's a strawberry, but it's, you know, covered in a little white chocolate. Candy melts are an amazing thing to have in your house. I keep them in every color, because when the kids' friends come over, you can cover anything in a candy melt. You can take pretzels or fruit, any kind of fruit, and you melt them down, and the kids can just, you know, have a party.
That's a good tip. I'm going to
and
Michael's
then these are little tea sandwiches like you'd have at a Mother's Day tea. They look like regular tea sandwiches, but of course my kids are not going to eat salmon on a tea sandwich. These are papaya and frosting made to look like salmon. And then this is a little frosting with sliced apples to look like the cucumber. And in place of the usual egg salad, which again, a challenge to get my kids to eat egg salad, these are like a marshmallow. These are marshmallows and little gummies in there to look like egg salad. So we like fooling people.
You know what? And I love how kids will have fun with that and they will eat it.
Isn't that so great? So we've got all these instructions for those cute little cupcakes on our website, and I couldn't resist trying my hand at something from the book. So we made Emoji Pancakes. So these are super cute. That's the one that looks like, that's my favorite emoji, the awkward emoji. And then we've got happy faces and everything. So all we did was make some pancake batter, right? And then added yellow food coloring to it to get that real yellow emoji look. And so all you have to do is you can take candy melts like she said she has them, or even if you have chocolate syrup at home, then you just kind of create the emoji on the pancake, and and there you have it. Now obviously I'm not the best artist, but you're probably better than me. So this is the kissy face one. Okay, it doesn't really look like that. It does actually. Yay me! It looks a little bit like the kissy face. But another thing that might be fun is actually handing this to the kids and kind of getting their feeling of how they're feeling that morning. And I'm going to show you how my son was feeling this morning when I woke him up today and said, it's time to go to school. He was feeling like this. Yep. And oh, he had so much to say about his breakfast and the lunch that I made him. So it's also a good way to get your kids talking about how they feel, which would be a really fun way to start breakfast. Anyway, I just think this was so adorable, so much fun. And by the way, to get these little hearts, all you do is you cut them, like that's my sunglass guy, you just cut them out of a strawberry, just that little heart right there. And then, then you got fruit in the midst of things too. So you got fruit and your pancakes, and it's just a lot of fun. So many great things to get there. And I found that cooking with kids gets them eating new things and eating more things, which is nice.